Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. Thanks again for watching. It is, what day is it today? Oh yeah, Thursday. Thursday the 5th of September. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Hope you're having a good day, whatever you're doing. Not a bad day weather-wise across the country. Temperatures getting up to the high 20s across the southeast this afternoon, but by contrast, much cooler towards the north and the west. I know if you're through northwest England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, far southwest of England, you'll be wondering what all the fuss is about with temperatures, because I know it's much cooler there for you. Got some heavy rain on its way for tomorrow. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. Before we do, I always tell you that the site's kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen here, and when you come back and use the site and you use the adverts, that's what generates the revenue that keeps the site free of charge. So a big thank you for doing that. Now, before we move on, let's just get up to date with what the CFS is trying to do. This is the week 1 forecast from the 5th through to the 11th of September. And you can see here our trough. Basically, this is the feature that's going to be affecting us through the weekend and into the early part of next week. But you notice it's surrounded by higher than normal heights to the west, higher than normal heights out towards the east as well. So it's a temporary blip, but it certainly is highlighting our more unsettled weather that we're about to go into. Week 2 from the CFS wants to build the ridge in strongly. Now, this is along the same lines as the ECMWF is hinting at. It wants to strengthen the jet between Scotland and Iceland, and it wants to build an area of high pressure in probably to the west of Scotland. Now, what it does early on in the week is it actually introduces a chilly northerly flow during the course of next week at first, but then by the time this chart is kicking off towards Friday, those have basically been knocked out of the way, and the high pressure builds back in. So CFS wanting to bring in this drier middle part of the month, certainly drier than I thought it was going to be. I got next week down as being a mixed week, and I must admit I'll be convinced that this that we're seeing in front of us at the moment is the case once we've got rid of this deep low or the relatively deep low that we're going to see during the course of this weekend. Now for week 3, so from the period the 19th through to the 25th, this is reasonably close to what we were expecting, but we've got a trough in the Atlantic, we've got a ridge through the British Isles, probably an area of high pressure like so, and a mild south or southwesterly flow affecting most areas. I think towards the end of the week what this is trying to say is that probably western parts of Ireland, western Scotland may see some rain at times, but for many the emphasis is still on the dry weather. And for week 4 we got the very end of the month turning a little bit more mixed with the chance of Atlantic hurricanes getting going, and I think that's probably what this CFS chart is trying to do. It's got a ridge in here, we've got the weak trough in the Atlantic, and then this kind of ridge that builds across Russia. But essentially we've got this west to southwest flow coming in from that trough in the Atlantic, which may bring some fronts eastwards during this period. I think what we need to do is watch out for ex-tropical storms coming across during this period. I think that could make it more mixed and unsettled than is being hinted at here from the CFS. But it's something to watch anyway. And we've got a sharp temperature fall off in the next few days. Here's this afternoon look, but just look what happens. Down go the temperatures, and they kind of hold down there as well, then well into the middle parts of September. So whereas we've been up to sort of 28s this afternoon in southern parts of the UK, we're probably going to be lucky to be scraping sort of 19s or 20s for a while now. And notice too, outbreaks of rain showing really through until this sort of time here around the 17th when it dries off a little bit. This incidentally from the GFS Ensemble today, far more in line with my longer range ideas of a mixed part to the month now and then going more settled from about the 18th onwards. The NAO is staying in neutral territory as well, so this kind of hints that that westerly flow across the Atlantic is relatively normal, so not showing the strength of the ridge that's being picked up just at the moment by the CFS, and for that matter by the GFS operational as well. And the Arctic Oscillation getting into positive territory, well, neutral to positive territory as well, and that's another indication of stronger westerly winds around the Arctic. So tending to see the GFS Ensemble disagree a little bit with the GFS in that it doesn't want to make the ridge such a strong feature. So it's still going to be there, but it doesn't want to make it such a dominant feature that the charts that we've just seen from the CFS and from the GFS operational do. And I have to say I lean more towards these. Now, into the short term, got some heavy rain to be thinking about during the course of Friday. This is the chart for Friday afternoon. Low pressure expected to be centred somewhere across eastern England. Difficult at the moment to pin it down. And looks as if we get a big area of rain across Scotland, northern England, the Midlands, southern parts of England, into eastern parts of England too. Focus for my concern really is across northeast England and also again across northwest England, where we could find some heavy rain. Particularly, I think it's going to be tomorrow late afternoon into the evening and through tomorrow evening that I think we could see a risk of flooding in these places. But you need to watch the forecast carefully, because just about anywhere could be at risk, particularly given it's been so dry for so long now in many areas, and the drains are blocked up, aren't they? So, you know, it wouldn't take a lot to flood quite quickly. Quite breezy as well up towards the north through Scotland. I think northeasterlies pretty strong there, and certainly feeling much cooler for all. So this is total rainfall then ended at 10 o'clock tomorrow evening, so 10 o'clock Friday evening. You notice here the focus for the rain is across these northern parts of Wales, northwest England. That's actually got a total there of 60 millimetres in places. Now, it may be overdone, but I do think that with consistency coming in for the model, some areas could see 50 millimetres plus. Also, I think we need to watch this area here, so around North Yorkshire, Durham, Tyne and Wear, Northumberland. I think we need to watch there as well for a risk of flooding. But given the sort of totals that we're going to see around the sort of 10 to 15 millimetre mark for many, if you do get caught in one of those zones of heavy rain, then don't be surprised if you see local flooding, and that happening fairly quickly as well. I'll keep you updated, of course, about that right through via Twitter and via Facebook. Just follow us at Weather School, or do a search on Facebook for Weather School as well. Then on to Saturday. Low pressure still with us, centred over the Irish Sea. Got fronts wrapped around it. That brings rain across northern and western Scotland, down through western Wales and through much of Ireland. It's kind of that area there, I think, most at risk. Probably not too bad, southern coast seeing 1 or 2 showers, but for much of England, particularly towards central and eastern areas, could be a dry day. It could be some sunny spells around as well, although it will be windy in the south with a risk of some gales and staying cool. Sunday sees low pressure again, centred to the west of Scotland. These weak fronts passing eastwards, increasing the risk of showers on Sunday, but I have to say, not convinced by this one at all, really. I think we just need to work on sunny spells, some showers in the west, mainly dry towards the east and remaining cool. And then Monday sees an area of low pressure, well, a trough really, just passing its way eastwards, increasing the risk of showers again. And I think what will happen is that as that gets into the North Sea, it turns the flow into the north, brings showers down those eastern coasts, while western areas become dry as a ridge of high pressure builds in. And then for Tuesday, I've got the ridge of high pressure built in from the west. I think this flow probably is more northwesterly, so bringing some showers down these easterly coasts, and quite windy there as well. It could be pretty chilly in the east through Tuesday, but further towards the west, the ridge of high pressure built in, so many areas out west are going to be dry. With that northerly wind, it's going to be feeling cool, best of the sunshine across the southern coasts. So that's your look ahead for today. Get ready for the heavy rain tomorrow, and get ready for that sharp temperature drop, especially if you've experienced the warm weather over the last few days. But for now, thanks for watching, and don't forget we're kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen here. So thank you for coming back and using the site. Thanks for telling your friends about us, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.